We saw a video this past weekend, a lot of them, of you on the sideline during that game that was not great for the New York Jets against Miami. A lot of facial reactions, a lot of head shakes, a lot of... I saw a big bubble blow at one point. You know, you're one of the best bubble blowers still on TV in 2023. I want to let you know that. Always chomping on the gum. You seem disgusted with a lot. Obviously, the game did not go anywhere near how you guys thought it would. There was a video, though, that was sent to us from iRocky83, which was watching you on the sideline, and we noticed some things here, Mr. Rodgers. For instance, we wondered if you're ever going to be able to get up on your toe. That was the big conversation. Look at The Rock. Look at The Rock, and we're up. We're up. Boom. We're up higher on that one. Now, we appreciate the internet sleuthing there that iRocky did, 83, to get that. But there's a conversation now about you being medically cleared, and we see you going up onto your toes. We see you last week at practice. How do you feel? Where's your state of mind? And what are we thinking and talking about when it comes to playing football again?
Yeah, I mean, I've been progressing steadily. Once I was able to start jogging, on the Alter G at about between the 8th and 9th week, things have progressed pretty good. I came out here right before Thanksgiving, continued my rehab, and was able to get on the practice field in a limited fashion the last 3 weeks. Most of my stuff has been, like you've seen, kind of thrown on the side, individual work. This last week I took QB Center Exchange. I did some stuff with the running backs. I've been doing the 7-on-7 flight school, which is basically 2s and 3s, P-squad guys that I've asked to do at the end of the day. So that's been fun to do that. Didn't do any 11-on-11 stuff. I think the whole time it's been, hoping that we're still in it because it was unrealistic to think that I would be 100% to be medically cleared at any point during the regular season. I do feel like, in the next 3 to 4 weeks, it would be very possible to get to 100%, but obviously not there. And so the conversation was away from 100% medical clearance to a willingness to play, and that's never been a problem for me. In 2018, when it was a rough year, as Ty remembers, we had a rough stretch. Mike got fired. Joe became the interim coach. We played Atlanta at home, beat them, and then went to Chicago and lost. I think they might have won the division that day. We were kind of eliminated from the playoffs. Next week we played the Jets, and there were a lot of people thinking, was he going to play or not? And my thought was always, well, nobody's 100% in week 16, but I felt like, okay, I'm feeling really good. I want to play. I want to be out there with the guys. We had a really kind of magical game that day. And again, it went to overtime that we ended up winning on a touchdown walk-off to Devontae. But that was, I felt 100%. So there was never a question whether or not I should play. If I was 100% today, I'd be definitely pushing to play. But the fact is I'm not. I've been working hard to get closer to that. But I'm still, 14 weeks tomorrow from my surgery. And, being medically cleared as 100% healed is just not realistic at 14 weeks.
So I think everybody says that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Like if you were willing to risk not being 100% to get back in there for a team that had a chance to go on a run and make the playoffs and do everything, I think that would have made sense too as people. I think we would have been like, all right, that makes sense. If he's at 70%, 65, 75%, whatever it is, but they still have a chance to go on a run, this is still a storybook, right? This is still a story.
It still would have been, again, we're in the hypothetical world. So it still would have been, I would have, if we win Sunday, then I need to go through a week of 11-on-11 practice, taking team reps, seeing how I respond to that, seeing how much I can move in the pocket, seeing can I get out of the pocket. So there still would have been a conversation. It would have just been, it wouldn't have been, hey, we won, you're activated, you're for sure playing. Now, I obviously, being a competitor, I would have pushed it as hard as I could this week, but it still would have been a conversation. I would have had to, check all the boxes, practice well, respond well the next day after some of these 11-on-11 sessions, and then the conversation between Woody and Joe and Robert and Dave and the medical staff and Neil Elatrosh and myself to determine whether or not they were going to ultimately clear me.
Okay, so there have been a lot of steps to get through, but there's potential that we would have been able to. Do you still feel as if all the hard work to get back as quick as you are was good? Like you feel like we changed I think so. I think like you changed the thought on the Achilles this year, even though we're not seeing you back this week apparently, or the next couple weeks, because the team has been completely eliminated. You're not at 100% yet. So do you feel like there has been a change? I think so. I think it's still a job well done out of you.
I hope so. I hope that I have talked to a lot of different people that have sustained Achilles injuries since mine, and passed along all the information that I could about what's worked for me and what hasn't worked. I'm still checking in on Kirk and Jalen and JK and all the different guys that I've gotten to know during this difficult time. But I think if anything, it shows if you were to have this injury, an off-season workout, summer workouts or something, that coming back to play is not just a possibility, but a probability if you do it the right way and you rehab and be smart about your diet. And obviously, I'm a firm believer in Neil and everything that he does, and the amazing people, Heather and Double A at Elite, and all their incredible therapists there. But there's a lot of great people across the country who can do this rehab. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of different, like we joke about, modalities you can do to increase your healing. But I think diet is very, very important. I think getting on your feet as quickly as possible is very important as well. There's some doctors that don't do that. They take their time with it, which is fine. I believe in getting on your feet and moving it quickly. And I think that there's hope that if you were to have an injury in the off season, that it's not out of the question to be ready for week one, and definitely not out of the question to be ready for the season. So hopefully this isn't looked at as kind of a 1 year kind of loss of a year death sentence moving forward. And the surgeries have gotten better, the rehab ideas have gotten better, and there's ways to supplement that through really through diet and vitamins. I think that can put you in a better position.
Go ahead, AJ.
Does coming back like at such a quick pace, is it more, are you worried that you're going to rupture that same Achilles again, or is it something else in your body that tends to go? I know that when you hurt something, you can make up for it and, you tear something else. Like what I guess is the biggest worry when you talk to doctors about coming back early?
Well, it's what we talked about the entire time about the difference between stretching and stressing. You got to allow that Achilles to heal up completely before you're stretching it. But there's a lot of different ways to attack this rehab. I tried to get on my feet quickly and kind of cut a lot of the protocols in half just to see if I can do it a different way. And I wanted to push it for the first 2 months as hard as I could and get to that 8-week mark and see where I was at, and then adjust accordingly the rehab schedule after that. So like at 8 weeks, I felt really, really good. I was walking basically normal. I was able to start jogging on the Ultra G. So that's why I pushed it as far as I could. I wouldn't have done anything differently. I wanted to get back. Were we in a position where we were looking like a playoff team and the possibility of getting into playoffs without me was going to happen, being ready for first round of playoffs to me would be an absolute no-brainer. I had kind of always circled the 24th in my head from the day I got hurt to the next day. I thought, okay, no one's come back quicker than 18 weeks. 14 weeks would be the week of the Washington game. I'm going to put my sights on that, focus on that.
Okay.
So I feel good about where I'm at now to at least there would have been a conversation about it. But it was always going to be a difficult rehab and always going to be a difficult comeback. But, I'm thankful for all the people that reached out throughout the process, all the information that was shared with me, all the great, attention I had from not just the amazing people here at One Jets Drive, but everybody at Elite. And obviously Neil's been fantastic through this whole process. And there's been a lot of these injuries, and I feel that, through what I've learned on my own, through my rehab, through my own research, and through the research of, AAA and AA and Heather and all the amazing people I've been around, I have a better idea about how to pass on the knowledge that I've learned through this process. But, there's always the fear about re-rupture if you're going too fast. But this allows me to, I'm not going to slow my rehab down. I'm going to keep attacking it every single day. But now without a timetable, to come back, obviously we can be as smart as we need to be.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it all. And it's been an honor to learn all of this about the Achilles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've, I've learned more about the Achilles, I think the world has, over the last 14 weeks than ever before. So we appreciate how open you've been about the entire process and how aggressive you've been in your rehab to get back and make it happen. And that Achilles factory, it introduced us to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bingo. Yeah.
So we're very grateful. We're very grateful for it all. We appreciate you, though, man. Way to kick ass for this whole thing. Way to kick ass for this whole thing. There could be a lot of hard times during recovery and rehab, especially whenever you're trying to do something that nobody's ever done before very publicly. There's going to be a lot of people that we appreciate you, man, genuinely. Now let's talk about next year. Darius has a question.
Oh, yeah. Now that probably not fully flipping the switch because obviously the season's still going on with your team, but individually not coming back this year. Now you've been documenting some of this behind the scenes as well. Will next season be the last dance for A-Rod in New York?
I don't think so. I felt like when I came here that I got kind of a renewed passion and love for the game, and everything has been amazing here. Just the people I've gotten to work with, the relationships I've gotten to form with my teammates, and the amazing men and women that work here at One Just Drive has been really special. I wanted, at least 2 years. I feel like this year is kind of a lost year now that I only played a couple snaps and wasn't able to go out there and improve what I'm capable of and see what we're capable of as a team. I don't think that next year will be my last year. With some of the things that I've learned over the last year, taking care of my body and surrounding myself with some great people who've been helping me with my nutrition and my functional training at a more acute level. I feel like I can play more years and I can be effective into my 40s, which is crazy because I thought that I'd probably be sitting on a couch somewhere at 40, but now I want to be a starter at 40. I want to be a starter at 41. I want to see what I can get out of this body. I believe in the leadership that we have here. I believe in our guys. I think it's not a situation where we have to rebuild. We need to reload a little bit, and there'll be some tough decisions for sure. But I like the pieces that we have in place. I like our young players. We got a lot of great young players who are stepping into more of a leadership role in their second and third years. There's some guys who just got paid who are incredible players like Quentin Williams. He's got a chance to be an all-pro in the league for a long, long time. His brother has had one of the most outstanding years for an inside backer, I think, in the league. And I think he's finally getting the respect that he deserves. CJ has been a rock for us as our captain on defense. But a lot of great performances this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Sauce, although you won't see the interception numbers jump out, has had a fantastic year. Nobody really throws his way. And then on the other side, the guy's getting a lot of work. DJ Reed has had a fantastic season. So proud of those guys. I think Tony Adams has had a really nice year for us as undrafted player who's just gotten better every single week. Jordan White has been great for us in the back end. Our D-line speaks for itself. They're 6-7 deep, and they've been fantastic all season long. Quinton obviously has had a fantastic year inside. Quentin Jefferson's had a really nice year playing interior tackle for us. Solomon Thomas has had a fantastic year, had a great game. JFM is a stout, solid player on the edge for us. Bryce Huff has made himself a lot of money this year.
Oh, yeah.
Will McDonald has a bright future in the league. So there's a lot of pieces in place. Most of those guys will be back. Some of those guys might get opportunities to get paid somewhere else, and hopefully they do. I want to see everybody get paid. Offensively, we got to reload a couple spots, but I think we got some great pieces in place. We have two outstanding game breaker players to build around in Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, who've had nice seasons, and I think the future is very bright. In New Jersey for our guys, and we'll finish out this season the right way, and be a long off season for sure. But I like the men that we have on the squad. I like the characters that we have, and we just got to add a couple pieces to it, and the goals will still be the goals.
It's getting real loud, bro. It's getting real loud. Everything you just said, I agree with. You said amazing things. And this year, the way it was supposed to go got derailed literally 4 plays into the whole thing, but it's getting loud out of those Jets fans.
Yeah.
They first time, long time going into the season, real hope.
Oh yeah,
real optimism.
Super Bowl.
And it almost made it even worse because then all of a sudden they had hope and now it's gone completely. And then things like this past weekend happened.